Welcome to a rain-lashed, absolutely soaking wet Ile Notre Dame circuit by Montreal. In pole position, it's Nelson Piquet, and alongside him is World Championship rival Carlos Reutemann. Then in the second Williams car, third fastest Alan Jones, alongside the turbocharged Renault of Alain Prost. It's go, and Alan Jones is coming through. He's right behind Reutemann. Reutemann's leading into the first corner, and Jones and Reutemann are ahead of Piquet, and right up alongside them is Nigel Mansell in the Lotus. And then a great ball of spray surging round the circuit. It must be absolute hell for the cars behind the leader, which is now Alan Jones, followed by Piquet, followed by Reutemann. Then there is Alain Prost, and then the midfield men going through, and that's Pironi. Pironi's lost it, and off the course goes Arnoux, and slam, bang, into the Armco goes the unfortunate René Arnoux, out of yet another Grand Prix in his turbocharged Renault, but it's Alan Jones leading on lap one. Piquet second, there is Reutemann in third position, Prost fourth, and De Angelis is in fifth position, and there is Didier Pironi and Riccardo Patrese last, with a great rooster of spray spewing up from his rear wheels. Alan Jones, who won here in 1979 and last year 1980, very anxious to do the hat-trick because this is his last Grand Prix but one before he retires from Grand Prix racing at the end of the year. And into lap two then, Jones, the world champion, leads double Grand Prix winner this year, Nelson Piquet, then Prost, Elio De Angelis, Carlos Reutemann. Jacques Laffite is up ahead of Nigel Mansell. And it's Patrick Tambay. That's Tambay off, the man who was in 8th position. And you can see, therefore, how slippery it is. And the conditions that are challenging. Race leader number one there, Alan Jones. Piquet chasing. Prost is still third. Coming up to the corner now, in 4th position is Elio De Angelis. 5th right behind him is Laffite. In 6th position now, it's Gilles Villeneuve, and Villeneuve is driving a superb race, as of course is number one, world champion Alan Jones. He has won 11 Grand Prix in his long career, and now he's decided to turn it in. He's fed up with the kind of cars, and he's very homesick for Australia. But he wants to go out on a high note. Only Las Vegas before Alan Jones, in the lead here in Canada, retires. But Nelson Piquet is, in fact, just driving along in a solid ball of spray, and he's out of it. Nelson Piquet's out of it, and he's through. Incredible. Beautiful manoeuvre. Nelson Piquet takes the lead. Alan Jones is dropping back then, and now Prost is through. Out of our sight, Prost is through into second position, and he's alongside Piquet. He's challenging for the lead. In a couple of 100 yards, Alain Prost has gone from third to second, and now he's in the lead, and Jones is back to third, and Laffite is third. Well, what an amazing, just a few 100 yards. Alan Jones has gone down from first to fourth. Prost has gone from third to first. Piquet is still second, having held the lead, and Jacques Laffite has moved past Alan Jones, is in third position, and the Australian world champion is now fourth, and there is number 4, Michele Alboreto, and Patrick Tambay is out. Well, 2 or 3 minutes of incredible incident, and now Villeneuve is right up with Nelson Piquet, and he's through. Is he? Watch the turbo. This is where the power will go down, and Villeneuve, with the psychological charge of the whole of Canada behind him, is up into third position. Alan Jones is now right out of the points, and we've discovered the reason as Villeneuve's challenging Laffite. Prost still leads. Laffite is second as he tries to pass but does not do so. Michele Alboreto. That's Andretti. Incident and excitement all round this Ile Notre Dame circuit. Andretti is off but rejoining, and now Laffite is going through to pass Michele Alboreto. And did you notice in the background, John Watson is now right up with the leaders, with the exception of Alain Prost, who's pulling away. That is Alan Jones. He's gone off the circuit, he's stalled his engine, he's being pushed, and if he's push-started, that's illegal. We've had the news that he's on the wrong tyres, as is Reutemann, and we've also had the news that this is definitely Laffite's leading. Lafitte through, the fourth leader, and how easy Jacques Lafitte made it look. First of all, Alan Jones led, off goes Mario Andretti in his Alfa Romeo powerboat. Carlos Reutemann, the World Championship leader, is now in 18th position, second from last, probably because of his tyres, possibly because Carlos is inclined to get disheartened if things go against him. And it's a mark of Gilles Villeneuve's superb driving at the moment that he's actually with Prost, who's one of the better handling cars, and Villeneuve challenges just to show that I am right. An ace driver at his very best. Prost will have nothing of it, holds him back. But I imagine it's only time before Villeneuve gets through. He's in the right position now to challenge here, and he's doing it as they disappear from sight. Villeneuve goes right up alongside Prost. Has he got past him as Watson is fourth? Let's look. Yes, Villeneuve is through and up into second position. And the Canadian crowd will go mad when he comes into their sight at the end of the lap. And that is Didier Pironi, who, like Villeneuve, is finding that the Ferrari handles much better in these wet conditions. He's now up to fourth position. I think Alan Jones is turning it in. We've got contact with the Williams pit, and I'm sure we'll get a message. It looks to me, what's that in the background? That is Pironi's car. That is Didier Pironi that I was just talking in such glowing terms about, and off go two more. That's a Brabham. It's not Piquet, it's Ribac. Jean-Pierre Jarier on the right. If drivers of their skill and ability, and particularly Jean-Pierre Jarier, can get into a fix like that, it must be absolutely like a skating rink. Virtually together now, Gilles Villeneuve in second position and John Watson, who is third. In fourth position is Alain Prost. Giacomelli is not only gaining on Piquet for fifth position, but he's right up with him. Giacomelli is starting to challenge Nelson Piquet for fifth position. The Michelin tyres now in these weather conditions are proving to be better. And that's it! Giacomelli through. John Watson goes through, and now you can see Derek Daly. And Villeneuve has just passed the seventh place man, Elio De Angelis, and spins! The camera went with Watson. We missed the spin, and look at his front aerofoil. Now he's got a compound problem. The problem of, first of all, controlling the Ferrari under the conditions which are bad enough anyway, and then compounding that, the fact that he is now losing downforce with the whole of the near side of his front aerofoil crushed. And that is Hector Ribac, who is Nelson Piquet's teammate, did extremely well in practice, sixth fastest in practice, but he hasn't maintained his practice promise in the race. Nigel Mansell in the pits, and he's come in to have slick tyres fitted, would you believe? Well, that seems an incredible decision to me. Oh, it was a wrong decision. Nigel Mansell has spun off, and look at the rear wing, it's very badly bent. The marshals must have bent it as they were pushing the car back. Oh, now he's in real trouble. He's lost downforce, he won't know it unless he looks in his mirrors, but Nigel Mansell will have lost downforce, and that will affect the handling of the Lotus. And there's Alain Prost coming up to lap him, the fourth place man, and he's hit him! Alain Prost in fourth position hits Nigel Mansell, and Nigel Mansell goes on. There's a piece missing from one of the cars, and Alain Prost, 3 times Grand Prix winner. Oh, he must be absolutely livid, Alain Prost, because that was certainly not his fault. Jacques Lafitte is still leading, and he's up to the 6th position. He's up to the battle with De Cesaris, and De Cesaris going through to take 5th, and he hits Piquet. Well, another wild manoeuvre by De Cesaris, which darn nearly took Piquet in 5th position out of the race and might well have taken the race leader, Jacques Lafitte, out as well. And he must be mentally kicking himself inside the driving compartment, because he was well on the way to getting back in the good books of the Marlboro team. if a question mark hung over Andrew de Cesaris's future before, there's 2 question marks now. And look at Villeneuve. What a deterioration in his situation, because that spoiler is now blocking his sight, and it will be a big question of whether the Canadian officials will have the courage to risk being lynched by bringing French-Canadian Gilles Villeneuve in, and for that matter, will Gilles voluntarily come in, or would he still go for third? That is a silly question, because Gilles Villeneuve will never voluntarily give up, and off comes the wing, and he immediately had the car spin, half spin, but now, paradoxically enough, with that spoiler off, things will be much easier for Gilles Villeneuve. And into the last lap with Jacques Laffite on his way to 9 World Championship points and on his way to being a World Championship challenger, very definitely, for 1981. There's the checkered flag. There's the cheery wave from Jacques Laffite, and there in the background was John Watson. Carlos Reutemann only 1 point ahead of Piquet. Piquet only 6 points ahead of Laffite. Any one of those top 3 men could still win the World Championship this year.